Um, Welcome to another video, and my name is L.S.T. In case you don't know me, I'm a final year statistics student of the prestigious University of Ibadan. And as you can see here, I have one of my past students, okay? And my purpose of doing this video is simply this. So in time past, I've always or probably recently, I've always told people some things like, okay, I have taught some students and probably, okay, they were medical students or so, and they had in so course. Some people don't believe because probably I have not shown them the results physically. So the reason why I'm doing this video is just like, I don't want it to be cho-cho-cho, like I want to actually now come and show workings, okay? So like I said, my name is L.S.T. and with me I have
S.A. My name is S.A. Ogene. I'm a student of dental surgery, 300 level, University of Ibadan.
Okay, so nice having you here, S.A.
Thank
so
you.
just a very short one. It took me a whole lot to bring S.A. down here. She's not really a celebrity, she's sort of a celebrity, yes, but to me, like, I call her my blood. Yeah, I really cherish her a whole lot. So once again, thank you for coming. So S.A., you took what course last session? What statistics course?
PSM 201.
Okay, so in case you don't know, PSM 201 is should I call it a medical statistics course? Not really medical, they call it Introduction to Biostatistics. Okay, and this course is being taken by, let me say, dental students, medical students, and clinical students as well, and some other students like let me say human nutrition and biochemistry and the likes. Okay, sort of like a medical course. So it is called Introduction to Biostatistics. Okay, so now S.A., the first question I have for you here is, how was PSM 201 class for you?
Okay, so the classes,
Yes.
the lecturer actually it was an online class. It was completely online via Zoom. And then the classes we had, the lecturer didn't really explain in depth to help us understand everything that we were seeing in the slides.
Okay.
So it was really hard for me when I started reading the slides. It was really hard for me to understand what was in the slides. So I had issues, reading and understanding PSM.
Okay, so how did you get to know about PSM 201 tutorial?
So when it was getting closer to the test, I saw a flyer on my class group and I knew that I really needed help. So I decided to join the tutorial.
Okay, so now thank you for chipping in that part where you said it was getting closer to test period. Now for those of you that are thinking that, okay, it is sort of too late to register for tutorial, trust me, I've always told you guys that it is never too late to join my tutorial. It is never too late. It is never too late. Now you can hear what she said. She said it's like it was close to the test period when we actually started PSM 201 tutorial. A set was the first set I taught PSM 201. Okay, so when physical class started, because I remember I taught you guys when we started the tutorial initially, we started online because I remember I was still at home then. So after the physical class, after the online class, then I held a physical class. I think it was sort of free or so. So how was the physical class for you?
Okay, so the physical class, I remember that day we were a lot in the class. It was a full class.
Yeah.
And we're doing we're going over all the topics that were being taught, like from the very first topic. I remember that you were explaining everything that we needed to know. You were really going in depth so we could understand the whole thing. You're telling us things that we really needed to pay attention to and things that we didn't really need to pay much attention to, and you were answering everybody's questions because there were many people in the class that day and a lot of people had questions and you were answering everyone's question. It was a really great time and I was able to understand.
Okay, so now how was your CA and your exam? Like, if you can remember, what were the scores you had?
Okay, so my CA and my exam, the CA, it was it was through Google Forms.
Okay.
I remember that day I was quite scared, even though I had attended his tutorials, but I was really, because I don't like math, I don't like statistics, I never liked it. So I was really scared, but I was able to solve the questions. I was able to finish solving all the questions, and I saw my score. It was, I think, 32. I got above 30, 32 over 40. I was quite surprised. I really thank God I joined tutorials. And my exam, it was, I remember the night before, I think it was the night before or 2 nights before, we spent a long time solving past questions, so many past questions.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
because of that, my confidence was built up. So I was able to do the exam well. And we even saw some of the past questions in the exam, and I got 79 over 100.
So our overall score was 79 over 100. If not for some things that happened in the test, let me say like it would be like 80 over 100. But let's just leave it at 79. Now she said something that where she mentioned that yes, she does not like statistics or mathematics. Now I've really had a lot of students reach out to me where they say, oh, learning start, I want to join your tutorial, or learning start, I'm having issues with statistics, and I didn't do further maths in secondary school. One thing I will tell them is, see, yes, your further maths in secondary school is sort of connected to statistics, where you do this probability part and all. It is all connected. But you see, the fact that you don't have the further maths background, or the fact that you don't have the mathematics background, does not mean you won't do well in your 100 level or 200 level statistics. So she being a medical student, I don't think probably she did further maths, but I don't mean further maths will not be as strong as an engineering or science student. Okay, so but she still did well in a medical statistics course. Okay, so now what made you choose to come to tutorial, and how were you able to handle attending tutorials, and like you being a dental student, how were you able to handle these two together?
Okay, what made me want to join tutorial? Okay, so it was really hard for me to understand everything that was being taught in the classes. So
emphasis on it was hard for me to understand.
I knew I really
everything.
needed help. I'm not like people that maybe it's really easy for them to just quickly grasp math or statistics. I'm not like that.
Okay.
So I knew that I really needed help, and I had heard of people who had carryovers, and I didn't want that at all. So it became a priority to me. Joining the tutorial or just getting help became a priority to me. That's why I joined the tutorial. And to be able to balance what I was doing in school with joining the tutorials, I knew that because it was a priority. I did not want to carry over. I had to make time for it, because when something becomes a priority to you, you find a way to make time for it. I may not have any specific advice that, oh, wake up at this time or do this at this time, but once it becomes a priority to you, you will find a way to make time for it.
So emphasis on priority. So many students claim that, okay, I am busy, that is why I don't come to tutorial, or where the tutorial is located at is quite far. Listen to what she said. It was a priority. I tell many students that, see, when something is very important to you forget about. See, my dad once said something that focus is like you are paying attention to one thing and you are being blind to other things. And I feel that is where priority comes to play. See, I don't think for those of you that are taking other statistics courses that are not related to other courses that you are studying a course that is not related to a medical course, I don't think you are as busy as a medical student or as a dental student or as a clinical student. But listen to what she said. One, she said that she does not want carryover, and she understood that, okay, this thing was a priority for her. And another thing I want to draw out is the fact that she said she made a statement like that it was sounding like she knew herself, in the sense that, see, many students like to, I feel many students like to compare themselves with other persons, which are mostly their classmates. Okay, they'll feel like, okay, this is my classmate, we are in the same class, we are taking the same course, this person is not going to tutorial, so why should I go to tutorial? So I tell students, see, understand your strengths and understand your weaknesses. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Thank God I am still an undergraduate, and one thing I tell my students and people is that I don't compare myself with my classmates. One, we are different beings. Two, they have strengths and they have weaknesses. I also have mine. So your classmates or your roommate that is studying the same course as you may not be attending tutorial, and the person may do well, but you may need a tutorial, and you are denying yourself of a tutorial, and you will just eventually fail because you denied yourself of what you should have, granted yourself access to. So know yourself is one thing I would like to chip in. Know yourself. Don't compare yourself with anybody. The fact that your friend is not attending tutorial does not mean you should not attend tutorial. So sorry for like taking the whole conversation from you. Okay, so last question. What's your sincere advice to those that are taking PSM 201 currently, that are offering PSM 201?
Okay, so my advice is, if you're someone like me that doesn't really like math or you don't understand statistics,
Okay.
you need help. So don't deny yourself of the help. So just join a tutorial, get the help you need, and ensure you solve a lot of past questions, because it will help to build up your confidence so you won't be scared on the day of your CA or exam.
So she said join a tutorial, and the tutorial she's talking about is learning start tutorial, okay?
Yeah.
And she said solve past questions that will build your confidence. So let me just jokingly put this. Now in statistics, there's something we call the confidence level. But man, no go there, sha. So okay, solving past questions. One thing I tell my students is, you solving past questions, you are not solving past questions. Don't solve past questions with this ideology that they will repeat it. Because if you, personally as a tutor, I have studied the trend, and I have noticed that for 2 to 3 sessions back, statistics rarely repeats past questions, though they repeat, but in a little proportion. So don't study past questions with this notion or ideology or with this belief system that they will definitely repeat everything. No. Okay, what if they may, but which I feel is a probability is value of 0.2. So it is that's a very low probability. What if they don't? Just have this ideology that what if they don't repeat past question? So the purpose of you treating past question, like she said, is just for you to boost your confidence level. It's just for you to boost your confidence level, okay? So when you solve past questions, when they bring out questions that are like not the same, but that they have prototype of that past question, you can use the same method to solve those same questions in the CA or exam, okay? So last thing last, I want you to talk about the personality of learning start as a tutor, because one thing I know is, it is one thing, like the Bible says, many were called, few are chosen. So many are intelligent, but only few can teach. Okay, so I want you to talk about the personality of learning start as a tutor. Like, what's your view of learning start as a tutor? Okay.
All right. So as a tutor, so I think you are very approachable and you are very encouraging.
Okay, thank you.
I remember the first physical class that I talked about. There were so many in the class, but you attended to everybody's question. You even encouraged us to ask more questions. Like, we should be able to, challenge what you are bringing to us. Be able to think deeply and ask questions. So I think that was very encouraging. And even when some people feel like they have foolish questions or questions that don't make sense, and they not get discouraged to ask questions, but you would always encourage that no matter what. Like, even if you feel like it's a foolish question, we should still ask it. And I think that was very encouraging. And also, you were very, very approachable, because I remember after the physical classes, we have like a WhatsApp group. And then we would send questions, like when we were solving questions about nights, we'll send questions and you answer all our questions. You won't say, oh no, the class ended when we were at the when it was physical class, it has already ended. Don't ask me questions or stuff like that. We're very, very approachable. You really made time to ensure that we understood everything that we were learning.
Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video. And like I said at the genesis, the main purpose of this video is, I just want us to I'll actually be doing more of this. So constantly you'll be seeing many of the students I have taught in time past. I will always have sort of like a podcast session, or let me call it an interview session with them. And this is just to clear people's unbelief system that, okay, so when I tell people that, I have taught, most people when I tell most people that, okay, I do teach medical students, they'll be like, medical students, are they taking start again? Yes, they are. So you can see she's a BDS student, that's Bachelor of Dental Surgery, okay, and she offered PSM 2, and that's Introduction to Biostatistics. So like I said, I'll be bringing more of my students to to this podcast session, and you'll be seeing more of them. So thank you for watching, and for those of you that have not like subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and if you have questions for me or you can drop in the comment section. We will do well to answer. Thank you. We love you.